this is how my morning is going. Do you believe it? Yesterday and today, I have just been breaking stuff and dropping things and making messes. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, I wasn't planning on filming, but I just had to share this mess. Like I wasn't planning on filming breakfast. So today is weigh-in Wednesday, and I'm doing 3 miles for time, and I am so sore. I'm so sore. Oh, it's incredible. Like, I'll talk more about it later. Let's just get into the day. Oh, and for those of you that don't know, I'm Aprillauren, and I'm on a journey to lose a lot of weight, 200 pounds, and I have, so yeah, that's right. Why my thinking is hard. Thinking is hard right now. That's why this happened. Thinking is hard. Let's vlog. You're wondering, the 5-second rule does not exist at my house because I vacuumed and Swiffered this place multiple times yesterday because I actually broke a glass while I was doing dishes. And this is new hair, just a few hours worth of hair. So if you drop something and you're at my house, don't eat it. Unless you want a hairball. And hairballs are not fun. Not that I would know from experience, but I have had a cat before. She was perfect. Her name was Easter. And we had Butch. Butch was my grandma's cat, but anyway, he was also perfect. Perfect babies. Okay, so I'm gonna give making breakfast another go, and you'll have to let me know how this footage is. My vlog camera is upstairs, and I was not going upstairs to grab a camera to film my monstrosity on the floor. It's always oatmeal. It's always oatmeal. But I'm gonna make some oatmeal, and I'll see y'all in a minute. So someone asked the other day, and this pan is not dirty, it's just when it tipped over and spilled the oatmeal everywhere, the oatmeal stuff got everywhere. So it is a clean pan with new oatmeal. But somebody asked how I make my oatmeal so creamy, so I'm going to tell you. I learned it from Yenna for the most part. And so Yenna, and it's so simple. I just add a little extra water in my oatmeal. And then I put it on like a medium to like low heat, and I just let it cook for a long time. So it takes a while to cook, but it's worth it. And that's what makes it like so, I don't know, it's really good. Like, I don't know if you've been with me this long, but last fall and winter I made oatmeal every morning because oatmeal is oatmeal in the morning is my jam when it's cold outside, or when it's supposed to be cold outside. But last year I just made it in the microwave most of the time. I don't know why, but when I went up to Yenna's and did Kettle Hell in Virginia the other day, she made oatmeal and it was so good, and I'm like, I'm making it that way. Then I do different things. So today we're gonna add some blueberries, and we're gonna add some protein powder, which I do every time I have oatmeal. So the other things I'm going to use for my oatmeal are the cinnamon roll whey protein powder. They actually just came out with an apple pie one, so I ordered it. We'll see. The cinnamon roll one's pretty good. Now, looking at the macros, I do not do a full scoop. I do half a scoop. So I just measure out 17 grams. So it's half of that caloric information. If you want the whole thing, I mean, have the whole thing, but it does add a little bit of extra protein, and I do this mostly for the flavor. Instead of adding like sweetener, tons of sweetener, sometimes I'll add a little bit, but pretty rarely. Especially like today I'm doing blueberries, there won't be any sweetener. Then I add salt, which I've already added, and a little cinnamon, and then blueberries. So blueberries is new. So once I feel like it's done, I usually put the lid off and take it off the burner and then just let it soak up the water. So that way the almond milk that I add is the only liquid. And let's go ahead and transfer it over to a bowl. I forgot when I was showing you things. This is the almond milk that we use, and it's delicious. I mean, I don't really taste it. I've never had it straight, only in oatmeal. Okay, as you can see, a serving size is 240. We're gonna do as close to 60 as we can. Turn it. So as close to 60 as I can get it. Oop, a little extra. I usually do the protein powder first, so hopefully I didn't just completely mess up the texture and everything. So we're going for 17 grams. And if you guys don't see the scale when I'm like just making stuff for myself, the scale's always here. Even when I'm not tracking, I typically measure things out like most of the time, if not all of the time. Okay, somebody was like suggesting that I measure out the oatmeal, but I do. And then I just stir, stir, stir until all of the protein powder and all of the almond milk is evenly mixed with the oat. Here she is in all of her glory. Not looking as good as she did the last time I made this when a couple people asked. But that's fine. I'm gonna enjoy it. I don't know why this looks so stinking yellow. In real life, it doesn't look that yellow. But I'm gonna enjoy the oats and my eggs. These are just plain eggs with a little bit of salt. All right, so I'm going to eat and I'm going to read the part. I'm gonna reread the part for today's podcast, but I've been reading ahead a little bit on this book. It's really good. The Gifts of Imperfection. Yana and I have been doing it with the Balanced and Bright collaborative thing on my podcast. Oh, boo-boo, you want to say hello to the vlog? You want to say hello to the vlog, or you just want to go outside? Are you watching squirrels? Are you watching squirrels? Yeah. Sweet baby boo. Yes, he's so handsome. Yes. Oh, them eyes. Oh, them eyes. I just love them. I just realized I never grabbed my blueberries. So it's okay. I guess I didn't need blueberries. It's like hardly any calories and they're so good. But I knew I was missing something when I was eating my oatmeal, but I was like, I don't know what it is. I mean, I've only done the blueberries. Yesterday was the first time and they were so good. Anyway, finish reading, finish eating. I'll see you on the track. So I'm at the track. I mean, obviously I'm by the track. I'm not on the track right now. But this track's just always so busy. And I need to warm up a little bit. And there's this, I don't think you can really tell. It's a hill. So I'm walking up the hill. And then on the other side of the track, they have bleachers. So I'm gonna find a place for my camera to discreetly live while I do my 3 miles for time. I'm achy. I'm kind of coming off of, I wouldn't call it an injury, but I definitely tweaked my leg. My workouts have been off this week. I think my body's just compensating and babying that area. So I don't know how hard I'm gonna push. So we'll see how this goes. Might be like an epic fail. I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. So I recorded all of the footage for this video before uploading the footage and kind of looking at what I had recorded. And I did not remember saying those things before I even started. How defeatist. That makes me very disappointed in myself. So this, spoiler alert, turns out to not be a 3 mile for time video. I stepped weird while I was walking again, and I think it's more just I got injured last week, and that probably changed like the way that I was walking, and so now I have like other aches and pains and some intense things going on. And so I took it easy, and I spent time stretching almost every few laps. I stopped and did some stretching just to see how it felt. And I did a little over 3 miles because I didn't even record the warm-up mile like laps. But anyway, it was good, and we'll talk about it. All of the things. All right, beautiful people. We are back home. That did not go as expected. Not even a little bit. My little tripod. It's pretty neat. Anyway, a few thoughts. I don't know where I want to start. Let's just stick with I'm talking to myself right now, out loud to you. 3 miles for time. I did walk 3 miles. I did not do it for time in the sense that I typically do. I injured my leg last week. Not like a extreme injury or anything. Injured is like more extreme than what I mean. Tweaked is probably a better word. I tweaked my leg last week. And then yesterday I was doing this workout, and you carry a weight and you do it for a certain like distance. And I got probably 70 meters, so the distance was 100 meters. I got probably 70 meters, and I stepped, and when I stepped up at the top of my thigh, so like where my hip flexors and like the muscles that connect at the top of the femur and like the hip flexor stuff, like it's right in the center of that. Just an extreme pain on my left leg. So I know my glutes are uneven still. My hamstrings, my left hamstring where they cut away to make the new ACL, like I have very weak hamstrings. So I think I need to back off. I need to do some like specific strength training. And I did physical therapy for a year after my accident. I think it might be time now that I'm losing weight. My body's kind of rebalancing, reconfiguring, I don't know. But I think I might need to go to physical therapy again and just see. So I'm gonna talk to my doctor about it. I have another doctor's appointment on the 15th. Speaking of doctor's appointments, my doctor's appointment went really well. They didn't do I thought they were doing some fertility testing stuff, like hormonal stuff when I did that, but they're not. So they're going to, but that type of testing. So I'm going in for an HSG, I think is what it's called, the abbreviation. Yeah, I can't, it's like a histiogram is what that's not what he said, but that's what it sounds like. It sounded like to me every time he said it. But he just said use the abbreviation at HSG, and I've got a call tomorrow for that. I cannot forget. So I've got to call and schedule that, and when I do that, they're gonna do more blood work, and that will be like the progesterone and all of the other type of female hormone things. But going back, my blood work was really good. So he said that I had the best vitamin D score that he's ever seen, which I thought was interesting because of, you know, my whole birthday blues thing. But I do know, like, in September, October, August, July, I'm outside during the day for at least an hour most days. So at least an hour. Anyway, so I think that's why my vitamin D was such a good score, he said. My glucose score was good. My number, so I was borderline pre-diabetic before I started. So before I started my weight loss journey on YouTube, I guess it's been a long time since I've talked about this. So, and I've never talked about part of it. So we did fertility testing and stuff, and when I started that ball rolling, they did blood work and stuff, and I wasn't pre-diabetic, but I was like borderline pre-diabetic. So I don't remember exactly what that meant, but like what the numbers were,
but they are like, basically that's where you're headed. And I was like, oh crap. And so then I went on a diet. Of course the diet didn't work. And then when everything locked down, I rapidly gained. I needed to lose weight, and I had lost some weight. And then I rapidly gained like 20-ish pounds. And that's when I was like, no, I cannot do this. So I was talking about my 3 miles per time, and then I got off onto, I hate when I do stuff like this. Okay, taking it back, 3 miles per time. 3 miles per time, I felt some sharp pains in the top part of my thigh and my knee, and then also on the right side I was having like some pains. And so I just decided, it wasn't always the same pain, but I kept feeling sharp, like back off me type pains is what my body was telling me. And so I didn't stop, but I went easier, and I still finished in, that's where we were at. So I did 3 miles in 1 hour and 2 minutes. So I did 3 miles in 1 hour and 2 minutes. The first mile I did in 19 minutes and 51 pace. The first part of that, I was going really fast. It was about a 17-minute mile pace. I looked down a few times and it was like 16, like 40-ish, which was really good. But that's when I had the first like stab. I was actually looking at my watch, which I think is another thing. If I'm not looking where I'm going and paying attention, if I'm not paying attention to my step, then it's not a good thing. So the first mile was 19:51, and then the second one and the third one were both right at 21 minutes. So I slowed way down, but I also was stopping and stretching for those. Like I would feel something and I'd just stop and just do some stretches and some movements. I don't know if that really helped too much. It helped me in my mind. And so I'll still have to do, and maybe I just won't. Maybe I'll do a 3 mile for time and a 1 mile for time in November. I was planning on doing it, but I injured myself when I was gonna go do my 1 mile for time. Not the day of, but like the next day I was gonna go do my 1 mile for time, and I was injured. And I was gonna do my 3 mile for time on this past Sunday, but I was kind of resting from tweaking it when I was walking the pups. So anyway, it is what it is. That's it. So today is a very special day. It is my Grandma Wilson's birthday. Happy birthday, Grandma Wilson. I love you so, so much, and I cannot believe you were 78. That's amazing and wonderful, and I'm so grateful for you. Thanks for watching all my videos. I love you. Yeah, so it's my grandma's birthday, and she is wonderful. And let's see, it's also weigh-in Wednesday, so we'll talk about that. Before we dive into the weigh-in Wednesday stuff,
I want to share some of our vlog footage from the weekend. We had so much fun. Instead of date night, we did a date brunch because we were staying in all weekend. We ended up not eating well, spoiler alert, which I don't have footage of that. For dinner, we ended up ordering mellow mushroom pizza, and I had a couple slices. So I don't regret it, but I do think some of my choices this past weekend, they aren't my favorite choices. I didn't make choices with my goals in mind, and it just sucks. But my husband and I, we went for this sweet walk, and we looked at like all of the decor, all of the shops. There's some very interesting shops, interesting in a good way and interesting in not a good way. I thought that this little spooky setup was so fun for this little coffee. It's not really a coffee shop. I don't even know what it is, but there are just so many stores. Downtown Fayetteville is so, so cute. And it was fun just walking and chatting about everything with my husband. We had a great little walkabout, and then we went to Circa 1800 for brunch, which is our favorite. It's our favorite like dinner restaurant here, I think. I think we agreed on that both of us like that restaurant the best. Sorry if you can hear Chips. She's underneath me as per usual. That store was very interesting. The animal skull kind of, yeah, it made me think like horror movies that I've seen, and I did not love that. I am definitely a scaredy cat.
So this is across the street from the restaurant, and then the restaurant had like the biggest line by the time we got back to the restaurant. When we parked, there was nobody there, and so I had already said I wanted to go for a walk around downtown. And so anyway, we went back, and this is the cute little restaurant. We love it. We like to sit outside, but it was pretty cold this morning, and so we didn't. And then my husband and I do not drink, so that side of the menu's irrelevant to us. Everything looked really great. I do wish I would have like asked for substitutions. Like I would have liked no potatoes inside the omelet. I just assumed they were going to come on the side, but they didn't. So my husband loved his chicken and waffles, and I really love my omelet. It was way too big. I could not eat that, so I ate about half of the omelet. And like I said, the potatoes, I just picked them out. But the grits were amazing. And I always love like a little fruit cup. It was really good too. But the grits, so good. So good. We love this restaurant. If you're ever here, check it out. Good morning. So we just had a little brunch. How was it?
It was good.
What's your favorite part?
I don't know. Grits.
Grits were amazing. Let's talk weigh-in Wednesday. So this week I am down 0.3 pounds. So basically I didn't lose any weight this week. I did eat pretty terribly over the weekend. By that, I don't really think I shouldn't even say that. I did not eat in accordance with my weight loss goal for the month over the weekend at all. But I had a good weekend, and we just ate bad all weekend. I didn't overeat, I didn't binge, but we just didn't eat in accordance with my goals at all. And I had some candy that, like, I don't regret having candy, but it's just a reminder to myself to keep that stuff out of the house. Well, it doesn't even have to be out of the house, but it needs to be out of my sight. And my husband was being a punk the other day, and he I had like bagged up all the candy and like stuffed it in the cabinets, and he pulled it out and he was like, oh, I'm gonna get some candy, and I'm like, that's not in accordance with our goals. I mean, he can have candy if he wants it, but he's trying to slim down, but he wants to maintain his muscle. So it's not really a lean bulk, it's just he wants to lean out and maintain muscle. So anyway, he was joking and being kind of mean when he pulled the bags of candy down. So I just took the bags. They were just in Ziploc bags, and I tossed them. So like the top of our cabinets have like that little molding where it kind of goes down. So all of the Halloween candy, there's like 3 bags, like gallon size Ziploc bags of candies just sitting up there. And I'm like, that definitely will stay up there until next year. It's like, we're gonna forget about that, and it's gonna be there for somebody else who owns this house after we move. And I'm like, that's possible too. That is possible that we will forget that stuff is up there. I know that happened in El Paso. In our house in El Paso, we had a really high cabinet, and anything that he ate and I felt was triggering for me, like I just put it up there so that I never really saw it. Like I would see it if he's eating it, but it wasn't like aware that it was there all of the time. So weigh-in Wednesday, I'm disappointed in myself a little bit. Not for the amount that I lost, but not for enjoying the weekend. But I was reading in the book that we're reading for the Balanced and Bright collaborative project on the podcast and stuff, and she talks about how on her guidepost 4, one thing that people do is they numb extreme emotions, whether it's extremely good emotions or it's not. And I think one way I do that is sabotaging. It's like I need to be in a certain place, not too good and hopefully not too bad, but if it's one or the other, bad is like the default. Like I need the rough waters to feel stable. and that's not healthy at all. So, and by that, I don't necessarily, that can mean different things to different people. So when I say that, you may see something different than what I mean, or what my experience is, but I have been doing really good on my journey, and it's almost like I can't handle success, and that I sabotage my own success to a degree. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it aside from that. Like, it's not something, I have not sabotaged anything. I'm not off track, meaning I'm not like not on my weight loss journey. I haven't like thrown in the towel and given up. I haven't retreated into myself. Like, typically when I feel like I felt in September, when I start feeling blue like that, I start to withdraw from everything around me, and I've done the opposite. I've leaned into meeting more people and being more active in the community that we live, as opposed to withdrawing, and I think that that's pretty powerful. But there's still little sneaky ways that I keep like shaking things up a little bit. It's like I can't have things be too good. I can't have everything be going too good. So we'll see. We'll see how I work this out, especially for my goals before the end of the year. I feel like I've been very negative in this video, but I am not in a negative place, and this is not the first time that I feel like I've earned my lack of loss recently. So it's not like I'm like, why didn't I lose more weight? Like, everything's broken. And I'm also not acting like I'm broken and that's why things are the way that they are in my mind. But I do want to continue forward stronger, and maybe just putting a voice to it, maybe just calling it out of the dark will do that for me, not letting it have power over me. Anyway, I have been talking a long time on top of the vlog footage, I mean. So I love you so much. Thank you for supporting me on my journey. I am excited for next week. Next week so this coming Monday will be the last weigh-in for my month of October. And the next Wednesday will be a weigh-in Wednesday and the October update video. So that's exciting. Time's just going by too fast. It really is. Like, I don't understand how things just keep moving faster and faster. I was thinking about this a lot on my walk too. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna end it. On my walk, I kept having this battle. So especially mile 2, like the end of mile 1 and mile 2. So like I had the pain mile 1 and I was like, I just need to get in my car and I need to leave. And then my other side's like, no, you need to push through and go faster. And I didn't do either. And then mile 2, it was, okay, we just need to start running now. Like, you should just go ahead and start running. Like, you need to run. Like, this time should be faster. Like, you should be going faster. You need to catch up. You need to make up for lost time. Or you should just go home. Like, it was like those two opposing thoughts on different sides of the spectrum. And I did pretty good at staying neutral and just, I'm like, I'm gonna walk. As long as there's no pain, I'm gonna walk. But as I was walking, I started thinking about some of my goals that I've set privately for myself. And I'm like, my grandma just turned 78. And I'm like, what will I be like at 78? If I push too extreme, what will I be like at 78? Like, let's say I create more injuries. And then on the other hand, what if I don't push hard enough and I keep carrying this weight around? The two thoughts that I kept considering were, one, what if I'm injured and I'm pushing too hard and I'm gonna cause other injuries, and when I turn 78, I'll have extreme lack of mobility because of what I'm doing now, the consequences. And then the other thought is, what if I don't push? Like, what if I'm not aggressive about my goals and I continue to carry this weight around while I slow and steadily get it off? Which, I mean, I'm still gonna go slow and steady. That's not what I'm saying here. But if I just keep carrying this weight, I'm like, what will 78 look like? I feel like such an old lady right now. And I don't think feeling like an old lady, I'm not saying that as like an ageist thing, as so much as I am saying it about the way, I like that saying, you're only as old as you feel. And when I wake up and I go to like a walk and I'm so stiff and everything hurts, like that's a bad sign. That's a bad sign. Or like, and like the pains that I felt when I was doing that first mile. And I think part of it, I just didn't warm up enough. I think I got on a tangent. I don't think I ever finished that thought, but I didn't really warm up enough. Anyway, I am not necessarily fearful, but I was very contemplative of being 78 specifically today. My grandparents are wonderful, both sides of my family. They are very mobile and capable, and 78 doesn't seem that old to me anymore. And when I'm 78, I want to be living my life. My great grandma lived to be over 100, and when she was like in her late 90s, she was still sweeping out the gutters. She's climbing up the ladder, sweeping out gutters on her roof. Like, I want to be that. I want to do that. And I need to take better care of myself now, and that's what I'm doing. I'm not saying I'm not doing that. That's what I'm doing now, but I want to live a long, active life. And yeah, I was just thinking about that a lot today. Well, thank you so much for letting me share all of my random goodness with you today. If you have had similar thoughts about aging, I would love to hear about it in the comments down below. And I hope that you're having a good week. I will have a video on Friday as well, so you'll be seeing me soon, I hope. So I love you so much, and I will see you on Friday or next week.